Happy morning, Instagram. It's Friday. Beautiful day out, nice and sunny. It's a little early, only 6:37, which means I'm driving to work in daylight, which means I've left a little later. I'll still be on time. It's all good. However, with this stress fracture in my foot, I've been off from the gym because I can't hoof it like I was, and after this week, I'm back to doing some seated exercises on the machines, and hopefully by the end of next week, I'll be back up and moving around, lifting dumbbells and getting back into shape like I'm losing my cuckoos, not working out, and limping around as I've been, but it's getting better. Not as good as I'd like, but it's getting better. So slowly but surely, but that's not why I'm here this morning. I'm here this morning because as I was listening to another podcast and someone who I like to follow on social media, the main point of the podcast was about supplementation. But what came up in conversation, which is something that I feel very strongly about, is what is your relationship with food? And that's what I'm going to say. I'm actually going to take a minute. I'm in a red light, and I'm going to say, do you have a healthy relationship? I love when do you have a healthy relationship with food? There we go. Now, somewhere in there, I'm going to have to figure out how to pin that. No one's here with me early in the morning at 6:30, but someone will see this when you watch my story. Or, if you don't watch LowCarbNewYorker on Instagram, perhaps you'll be seeing this on YouTube when I post it up there later to my channel. So anyway, the real question that I want to talk about is what is your relationship with food? Because here's where I am. Before beginning my ketogenic journey, last year, late December, by mid-January, I had fully committed myself. I did not have a healthy relationship with food. Now, since 2014, I had decided to get healthy and get trim and fit, lose weight. My son was about to be born. I was upwards above 291 and was huffing and puffing and just didn't feel good. And so I began my journey. I became a Beachbody coach. I got some fitness programs, started drinking Shakeology, started measuring everything that I was eating, and I did okay, and I lost weight, and it was good. I even used another product called Purium, which, again, I think it's a great product, but not what I want to do right now, although sometimes I still have some in the back of the closet. I think perhaps I will do that cleanse because, intermittent fasting altogether 4 days, or, drinking a green shake isn't the end of the world, and it kind of falls into the same idea. So I'm going to look into that and bounce that off a couple people and see what they think, and I'll make a decision, maybe on a vacation week or when I get to the summer, play that game. But where I am now is my relationship with food, where I was, is time and again I was still eating crappy stuff. Time and again, I was eating that carb-laden food, sugar-laden food, and once I started, all bets were off. How many of you understand what I'm talking about? Let me have a cookie, and that cookie turns into half the bag. Let me have a little ice cream, and all of a sudden you're plowing your way through a container. And it's not like I sat down with that plan to do so, but apparently for this man, foods like that don't work. They stoke up this need to eat more, and it's like I'm a bottomless pit when I'm eating food like that. So that's a problem for me, and I know a lot of you can relate to that. I know I've talked to a lot of you, my friends, my family. They're all, okay, I understand. You shouldn't be eating candy. You shouldn't be eating cake. Lay off the ice cream. But you need carbohydrates. You need sugar in your diet. And I'm going, no, you don't. There are essential amino acids. There are essential fatty acids. there are no essential carbohydrates. There are no essential sugars. And for many of us, sugar happens to be like a drug. So here's where I come in on a Friday morning thinking about it, that my relationship with food was not a healthy one. The diet I was following was just that. It was a diet where I deprived myself of things, and I felt like I was depriving myself, so I would have those days where I'd turn around and go, but I just want it today. It'll be okay, and I'll pick it up. I'll do a couple of extra minutes on the treadmill. I'll do some extra cardio. I'll lift a little longer. I'll do a double workout today. And slowly but surely, I lost a lot of weight. But unfortunately, if I didn't follow that program, I put weight back on. And as many of you know, when we take weight off in an unhealthy way, we put weight back on, and usually then some. So I never got back up into the 290s again. But time and again, from 2014, I would put some pounds back on, take them off, put them on, take them off. And then around the tail end of 2017, I was floating up in the 280s. And I'm like, oh my God, I got back up here again. And at that point, I decided a program I was following seemed ever reminiscent of Atkins. And, Atkins worked for me, but I didn't learn as much as I should have when I did it. And what I started doing, because all of a sudden they weren't talking Atkins, I was only familiar with it, so it was easy for me to get started. But the topic kept coming up about nutritional ketosis, about putting your body into ketosis. And I was familiar with the term from doing Atkins. However, I can't get that sun out of my face. That's nice. It's nice and bright out here. I digress. So I started reading about ketosis. I started reading about the foods you had to eat. I started reading about things that you shouldn't be eating and a healthy, proper way to maintain it and integrate it into not a diet, but a lifestyle change. And that's where I am right now. Is I've committed myself to eating real food, but I've committed myself to eating real food that nourishes me, that keeps me feeling full for longer. I find that I'm eating less meals per day. I find that I'm not reaching for the junk because I have healthy options. And I feel like my relationship with food has improved so much. It's not about cake, cookies, candy. Although I will say, if I'm craving something sweet, I've got some recipes for healthier options that are sweet but aren't sugar-laden. Someone once said, if you're feeling really, really like you're craving something super sweet, go grab something super fatty. Like one of my snacks that I was using for a while was over microwaved pepperoni and then putting some cream cheese on top. Crunchy, tasty, yummy, creamy. Can't go wrong. Another one that I tried and I think it was interesting, but definitely wouldn't be my go-to, would be like taking a slice of full-fat cheese and putting a little butter inside when you roll it up. And people shake their head. And I have family members who turn around and go, Russ, you're eating a lot of fat. Are you sure this is healthy? I said, well, I'm losing weight. That can't be a bad thing, is it? Well, I've run my blood numbers, and almost all my blood numbers, all my biomarkers, have moved in the right direction. HDL went up, triglycerides went way down, LDL went up a little bit, but then when I started looking at the separate particle values and counts and everything, it's actually rather indicative of the lifestyle I'm leading and is healthier than what your traditional medical practitioner would turn around and say, because they turn around and go, oh my God, cholesterol's a little higher. Oh my God, you're going to have a heart attack. And nope. And they turn around and go, LDL's super high. Oh no, got to put you on statins. And I said, well, doc, let's look and see. And lo and behold, we started reading the research on the most current studies and science of lipidology. And the numbers make sense. The numbers make sense that I do have a higher serum level of certain numbers. However, many of those numbers mean nothing in the scheme of things when looked at as raw numbers. And what's more importantly is looking at the different ratios and proportions of one particle to another, or particle size, which is much more important. So I'm definitely getting healthier. My inflammation's still a little up. I have sleep apnea. So I know when I don't wear my mask, surely that's jacking up my inflammation marker. At the time that I was tested last time in, late April, May. No, what am I saying? It was August or September. I know that, again, I was lifting like 6 days a week, and that will also raise inflammation. So, my doctor is like, oh my God, inflammation, heart attack, and I got to test your carotid artery. Let's do your femoral artery. I was like, you did the femoral, there was nothing there. Blood flow is good. You want to do the carotid? Let's go for it. And he ran it, and he's like, you have basically almost a 0% blockage in your carotid artery. So, he did it, and there's nothing there, and he was very concerned. And come April time, when I have a week off, or perhaps in the summer, if I have to wait till then, I'm going to turn around and get a CAC score, which is a coronary artery calcium score, which really looks inside your heart using a CAT scan and figures out exactly if you have any major blockages. Good morning, Murph. On the way to a Friday day of work, man. Yeah, so anyway, going back to relationship with food. I ate like a pig, but I ate all the wrong stuff. And that's where I am right now, is eating like this. Eating meat, eating cheese, eating eggs, eating some greens. I'm not reaching for crap, man. And my sweets are like, I got cacao butter in the cabinet. I got coconut manna in the cabinet. I got some Swerve in the cabinet and some cacao nibs. And I make my own chocolate at home, sugar-free. And I make my little fat bombs, like little truffles. And I'm not going to the store. I'm not spending money on stuff. And occasionally I'll go out and buy some keto goodies. But I'm also very careful because, equally there's a lot of products out there that they say they're keto-friendly, keto-approved. And you start reading the ingredients, and there's people making money out there. The diet industry has been doing this for years and years and years. And there's a lot of crap out there that says it's good for you, but it most certainly is not. So that's where I am right now. I just want you to know that, if you don't have a healthy relationship with food, if you're reaching for crap and eating too much and feeling like crap afterwards, you might want to consider that a low-carb, high-fat, or ketogenic diet might be a lifestyle for you. It's sustainable. I'm doing this for a year plus, and I'm not going back and saying, oh my God, I'm missing all this stuff. I mentioned a few videos ago how, on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, I did have some chips and a couple other things, and I just didn't feel good. It was days until I felt better. And I don't want to feel like that anymore. And now I'm in touch with my body, and I understand how foods make me feel, and the stuff that I'm eating does not make me feel bad. It makes me feel great. I have so much energy. As much as I'm running late today, who the hell cares? I'll still be on time. And who the hell cares? Because, I'm awake, man. I still didn't even drink my coffee. My coffee's in my lunch bag because I don't drink my coffee until 8, 9 o'clock. You know what I mean? I get up, I take one baby sip just to wash down a supplement that I take in the morning. And the rest of it gets poured away in my thermos, in the bag, and that's the way I run. That's the way I roll. And if you're interested in this, you should give a shout. If you know someone who is not doing good with their food, give a shout, man, because that's what this is all about. I love sharing about this. Kev, have a beautiful day. Perhaps I will see you over the weekend. Be well. Say hello to the girls.